Hello, welcome back if you've been here before, and a special welcome if this is your first time. We are so glad you are here, and we want to take a moment to enjoy talking about business. Yes, I love talking about how we can improve our businesses. We want to discuss different ways that we can bring in traffic and leads into our business, and how we can care for our existing customers. I also love talking about the different methods that exist in order for us to gain the attention of our customer. Why? Because we want to help the person at the right time with the correct product. So do me a favor, go ahead, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you do not miss anything at all. So today's topic is important, and this is especially for those who are getting started. What do we want to talk about? We're going to talk about business building. We want to talk about decisions that we need to make to shape the success of our business specifically. So we'll talk about what kind of business we will build. We'll talk about what does long-term mean, right? So sometimes we hear long-term versus short-term. What does that really mean? We'll talk about, are we ready for the support that is necessary? Are we ready for the support that is necessary? I said that in a very interesting way. You'll see. We're going to talk about choosing the correct role for ourselves. And then we're also going to check in and have a reflection moment on what we want to do. And then let's talk about a call to action. So let's get started. What kind of business are you building? Whenever we hear people talk about building a business, typically they discuss branding, choosing a niche, maybe even discussing, well, start posting content. Here's the thing we want to think about. One of the most important decisions we need to make is, what kind of business model are you committed to? Let me explain what I mean by that. We could have a business model where our customer purchased from us one time. We could have a business model where our customer purchases from us on a recurring rate, right? So the one time could be like, say, an ebook. They only needed it this one time. They will not need it ever again. Say a recurring purchase could be a person who purchased a membership from us or a subscription. The person could also have purchased a course and it be one time, or they purchased a course that's connected to a membership subscription, right? So this is what we want to keep in mind, is what type of business model. This will determine how often we'll need to bring in new customers. It will also determine for us how often we will need to nurture our existing customers as well. I keep saying long term. So, what does long term mean? Really and truly, we don't want to just focus on the extent of the time of our business. We also want to think about touch points with our customer. Will we support our customer for one purchase? Will we support our customer for 2 months, for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year, and so on? This is what I mean by long term, right? So we want to define what that means for our business. We do not want to accidentally overpromise or underdeliver. This is a big mistake, and it will impact the reputation of our business. Remember, a part of our business is building know, like, and trust. So we want to be careful with over promoting, over promising, and under delivering. That's really important. So there are some questions we want to ask ourselves as we go on this journey of making these decisions. Will I offer, or will you offer, access to updates, right? So let's say you're selling a course. We'll be specific with an example. Let's say you're selling a course. So will I offer updates to this course, or will I just offer the course itself, right? Will I offer Q&A sessions with this course? Will I offer continued support? How long will I support the person that purchased from me? Will that support be 1 month? Will it be 3 months? Will it be 7 months? Will it be a year? And how will I package that support for that course, right? So there are different ways to package that support. Will that support be packaged with the course, meaning, okay, I'm going to review with this person every week? I'll meet with this person. I'll have a membership set up so this person can talk amongst other people as well who've purchased this course from me. Will I have set up a system where, okay, we will meet with each other every month, right? So we need to start asking those types of questions to ourselves. What will that support look like for your company? You want to write this down. You want to set your boundaries. You want to definitely begin to think about this portion. Remember earlier I asked the question, are you ready to support people? Right? It was very interesting. Here we go. This is why. This is deep. This is important, especially if your purpose is a transformation. Coaching is the one element where you are going to build trust with a person. You need to be in a space where it's understood that the person is not just buying a product. You're literally saying to the person, I believe this product that I am offering you will help you to create this transformation or this change in your life. It will help you get from where you are to where you want to be. And so this is when we really want to know, am I ready to support people that I sell? Why am I saying this? Let me be transparent. On my journey of learning the business of online business, I purchased from a person who was not ready to coach. She was talented, yes. She was passionate, yes. But she didn't understand the process of coaching at that time. I purchased from her when she was early in her journey. I do not regret purchasing from her at that point. I learned lessons that I would not have learned otherwise. I'm also in a space to say this to you because I learned this lesson myself, right? She felt like posting on social media was a way of coaching everyone. That's not coaching. That's just remaining visible. So she retained a connection with us, but that connection lacked the opportunity for clarity. It lacked the opportunity for follow up. And it also lacked the opportunity for specific questions to be answered. So this is why you want to be careful with the product that you're offering, because your product may need to support the person on the long term. Again, you decide what is long term, right? So it depends on your product that you're offering. So there are some questions that you want to ask yourself. Do I personally want to support the person that purchases from me? So why is that an important question? There are groups that are large enough where you could offer support services to the person who purchases from you to the group, right? So the person purchases course A, the person purchases membership A, the person purchase ebook A, and connected to that purchase is a membership group that is large that includes support. Okay. Or you might personally support the person yourself. You could do it in combination with a larger group, or you could do it yourself alone. These are decisions you will make. Then you also want to ask yourself a really important decision as well. Do you have the time and the capacity, the tech, to guide this person? So you want to be very honest with yourself. Where are you in this journey? Do you have the skill set? Do you have the time to support this person? You might have it. You just want to ask yourself these questions. That's the most important element. And then lastly, you want to ask yourself, do you want to build the team around you, or do you want a team to help you build? How will you automate all of these different elements, right? So again, what do I mean when I say, do you want to build the team around you? Do you want a team of people to help you create this support system, or do you want to build it yourself? And then how will you automate all of this support, or will you automate it at all? These are questions that you want to ask. Okay, so now let's keep moving. Now that you've made all of these decisions and asked yourself these questions, now you want to choose the right role for yourself. So not everyone will be a coach. Maybe you're choosing to be a creator. You love to make digital products and you want to build systems that do not involve a lot of personal involvement. That's fine. Remember, one of the questions was time, capacity, experience, right? Then maybe you want to choose to be the connector. So you thrive inside of the groups and you want to run the sessions inside the groups. You want to help build the membership community. Remember, I said earlier, how will you build the team? Do you want a team to help you do it, or do you want to do it yourself? So maybe you're the connector inside of that team that helps build the team. Maybe you want to be the guide. You prefer one-on-one support, so you'll do a small mentorship group, right? So you're not going to have the large group. You won't have someone purchase the course and go to the large group. You'll take care of that person yourself. You want to know all of these. You want to think about this. It is important along your journey. You don't want to force yourself to do things that are trendy. And you don't want an audience that doesn't really trust you. You don't want an audience that you cannot show up for. And you don't want to be the person who is not being the best that you can be. This is the most important element, right? So you have some decisions to make. This is when we check in and we reflect. So you take some time out, get your notebook, get your journal, get your planner, and you want to take a few moments and reflect. I asked a lot of questions inside of this session. So we want to bring it on down and ask some more pointed questions. Here we go. Do you want to sell a one-time product, or do you want to build a recurring revenue stream? Or do you want to do both? How long is long term for your business? You want to decide. And how long do you want to support each customer, right? After they buy. How long is your long-term business? Do you want to coach? Do you want to connect? Do you want to create? And why do you want to do each of these things, or a combination of them? Okay. And what lifestyle do you want to live as you build out, grow this business, right? So remember, we talked about time and capacity and experience, right? That's really important. So your ability to focus on your business is different if you currently have a full-time job versus someone who might be retired, or someone who is starting into the job market and they're choosing to start with an online business first. So they do not have time constraints with a day job. Don't shortchange yourself on this decision, because the whole point of our business is to make sure that we have time for our family, that we have time for life, right? So really think that through. You don't want these things to be like, oh, I'm taking 2 hours to think. No, there's to a certain extent, you know who you are as a person. So think those things through relatively quickly. And so these are the closing actions that we want to take. You have the questions. I've given them all to you. Take a couple of minutes and write down your answers for each of them. Because the truth is that a strong business starts with strong decisions. It's not always about how fast you grow, nor is it about how beautiful are the looks of your branding. It's about clarity and it's about care. So when you know your model, your business model, when you know the role that you want to play, when you know your limits, you can build your business with confidence. If this helped you today, let me know in the comments. What kind of business are you building? One time, recurring, or a mix of both? I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you're still figuring this out, that's okay too. I've been there. This is why I'm here, because I want to share whatever I can, the nuggets that I've learned on my journey as well. So take your time. Make forward decisions. That's all you need to do. One step, the next. Serve with integrity, right? So do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This way you will not miss what's coming up next.